Hello everybody and welcome to my little piece of the internet. My name is Kelly and I am a part-time reseller on YouTube, Etsy, and Poshmark. And I just wanted to go through quickly some of the things that I'm hoping to get listed over the next week or two. I, as I've said previously, have a lot of spare inventory that I'm trying to get through before I can buy new stuff. But what's exciting is it's kind of fun to go through the things that I have purchased previously that at this point I have forgotten I had. So it's almost like a shopping my own stash, essentially. So I think I'm going to call this a rehaul. So it's essentially things that I have hauled in the past and I'm now getting back into to get relisted. So let's jump in. We have, I think, mostly clothes is what I've pulled out. And some of this I've seen already, and at the bottom of the pile to my left, there's actually a bin that I have not looked through. So I'm very interested to see what's in there. So first up is just a loft blazer. It's a size medium, but it is this really adorable kind of chevron pattern. Super cute, super profesh. I think that would make a great career piece, and if it were a little bit bigger, I might keep it myself. Because I still have an office job that I have to go into some of the time. So that would be a nice piece. I think it's super stretchy too, which is nice because anybody who's worn blazers know that they can be a little restrictive. The next two items I'm still on the fence about. A lot of this I got at church rummage sales, bag sales, fill a bag kind of thing. So while I'm doing that, a lot of times I don't have the opportunity in the moment to do really thorough checking of hey, what's the condition of this? You know, I usually look at things really quickly while I'm sourcing, while I'm filling a bag, but a lot of times I don't have the opportunity to go back and re-look through my bag, which is okay because if you're spending, you know, $5, $10, $20 on a bag, you know, tossing a quarter here and there or redonating it isn't the end of the world. So these are a couple of things that I was considering not listing, but then I was like, you know what, they're pretty cool on their own. So they're vintage pieces. They're made in the USA, but they're this sort of, you know, one of a kind, not really one of a kind, but, you know, hand-painted art to wear is the term that I'm looking for. So it's this long 90s maxi dress with this kind of cool button detail at the bottom. There are some, you know, stamped fish all over. So that's one of the pieces. And I think that I'll probably list these across all three platforms. I've actually had a decent amount of luck on Poshmark with vintage pieces. So we'll see. And who knows, somebody could be, you know, doing refashioning things. I actually considered keeping the one that I just set over there with the vest and cutting it off and making it more of a short dress. But I'd rather get it out of my house. I don't need more clothes. So same brand, this Focus, made in the USA, size small, and sort of similar style. So it's a t-shirt dress, cotton, and instead this one's just got more of like a kind of abstract tribal, and then it also has sort of the button detail at the hem along with some additional artwork. Let's see. Oh, this one is another just kind of career piece. It is Ann Taylor and it's factory because it's got the two little dots underneath it. But it's just this pretty leopard print, you know, dress. It's got this really gorgeous ruching at the waist, which would be very flattering. It's a size 12, I believe. Yep. That's another thing I considered for myself. But again, I have too many clothes. Oh, surprise, surprise, a vintage piece that I also want to keep. So I remember the fill-a bag I got this at. So not a brand or anything, but it's made in the USA. It is a knit, long sleeve, striped midi dress. It has the belt with it. It's in a really nice condition. So that one, again, will probably go on all three platforms. There were a lot of dresses at this particular sale, I remember. So here's another one. This is BCBG Max Azria. It's a size 4, so a little small, but I think this would be just a really pretty, you know, going out dress. It's got a kind of an open, you know, spaghetti strap back to it. But, you know, for weddings, for homecoming, I think that that would be very pretty. Here we have another career piece. It is Calvin Klein. It is this gorgeous woven with the metallic in there. But the thing that I really liked about this was it has this double zipper detail down the sides. So it zips up from the top, but also from the bottom. So you can kind of, and it's on both sides. So you can kind of adjust, you know, if you want, you know, a slit on one side, if you want a slit on both sides, if you want no slits, you can do that. So I thought that was just, again, a really nice career piece. And that's a 12 as well, so it's a good size. I like picking up typically a little bit larger sizes. I mean, not that I'm going to pass on a, you know, a 0, a 2, a 4, those kinds of things, because, you know, there are smaller ladies out in the world. But I find that, you know, your 8s, your 10s, your 12s, and beyond tend to sell the best. This is a very exciting day in my world. My husband and my daughter are both out doing things in the world, and so I have the whole house to myself. And so I am just enjoying, you know, working on my stores and filming this video and drinking coffee, and it's been a very exciting and fun morning for me having all of this freedom. This is just a women's Columbia, it's a size large, which I thought was good, fishing shirt. So just a cotton fishing shirt, and you can see it's got these little fishy scenes on it. So I think what I'll do with that one, much like Carly at the Poetry of Nice, it was her suggestion that I saw, and I follow her closet. And one of the things that she'll do with shirts like that, both men's and women's, or at least men's shirts that she thinks could be, you know, more unisex, more worn, styled by a woman, is she'll do a little tied up knot, maybe roll the sleeves. And so I think I might do something similar for that, just to show another option if there isn't somebody who truly wants to wear it for fishing, that it could be just kind of a fun piece in the wardrobe. This is a Kimchi Blue, which is a Urban Outfitters brand. It's just sort of this, you know, little tunicky tank dress, zip front, and then it's got a really pretty lace bracer back. So, thought that was very sweet. Another vintage piece, no real brand or anything. It's a size 36 City Wear 2. Again, it's just vintage. But I thought the pattern and the style was so cool. So it's got sort of these looped buttons, short sleeve, very polyester. And then, I mean, the pattern I thought was just very cool. A random item. So I have actually had really good luck with this Miss Elaine for vintage kind of sleepwear. Made in the USA. It's very soft. I tend to pick it up because I think a lot of times what happens is people will find things that they really like, and then, or their mothers may have found things that they really like, and as they get older, those kinds of things can also be nice for buying inexpensively if they're in, you know, senior communities or nursing homes where they spend a lot of time in that sort of clothing. It's, you know, eBay's a nice way then for those family members to be able to find that, you know, more inexpensively than going out and getting it from a store. And especially for some of these, they're difficult to find in stores. This is if I thought I would look good in this style, I would keep this for myself, but it's a little too boxy. So this is Florette, which I believe is an Anthropologie brand, but it is this boho top with all of this hand cross stitch. So all that embroidery looks like it's done by hand. I mean, the inside of it, you can see it's not an applique, but there's all of these lace details. There's detail, smocking around the hem and around the sleeves. More detail on the back. I mean, it's just beautiful. The only thing, there is a small flaw in the fabric itself. I don't know if you can see that. Yep, right there. So it's not a stain, it's not a pull, it's just that the fabric itself had a little flaw where they cut it out. So I'll still list it. I have sold things with flaws. I will continue to sell things with flaws, and that's just fine. This is just a Fabletics size medium hooded sweatshirt. This is something that I think I purchased at the bins with the intention of wearing it myself, and I just have enough hoodies. I don't need it. Another art to wear piece. I got it at that same bag sale. So this one is country wear casuals. No idea. But it's a long sleeve. This reminds me of like what kindergarten teachers wore when I was a kid. So it's very 90s. I actually have one teacher in particular that I can remember from high school, my English teacher, who just had a very unique style and did a lot of the art to wear things. So whenever I see things like this, I actually describe them to my mom as things that she would wear. And then you got the sort of contrast on the bottom with another black piece to contrast the brown and more like stamped leaves and things. This is not a brand that I know, so I'm going to have to look it up, but I bought it really for style. So it's, let's see, Chloe and Katie, I think is the brand right there. And it's just sort of a cropped, you know, boho hippie top. It's got a little tie in the front. It's got the tasseled ties. It's got sort of a short bell sleeve. I think it'll just be, you know, people finding it based on the style. So, like I said, not typically a brand I know or anything. Excuse my drinking, but if I get a chance to drink coffee late into the day, I'm going to take that opportunity. This is an LL Bean 2X women's flannel top. It is beautiful. I love the colors. I think that will be very nice. Do I wish that I would have gotten that listed 6 months ago? Yes. But winter stuff sells in the summer. Summer stuff sells in the winter. I am not at all concerned about that. You put it up there. People buy things year-round. Same thing with this. I am actually excited that I pulled this out when I did because it'll have some time to sell. So the brand is Corette City Blues. But really I got this for the style. So not like funky style, but like it's somebody's style. So it's this jacket. You can see it's got the American flag. It's got some stars with some beading. You know, just very patriotic. And then underneath it has a denim tank dress. So it's maxi dress, that tank style. I think that one of two things will happen. And it's got its own sort of matching beading and everything there. I think either somebody is going to buy this that wants something kind of fun for 4th of July. I think the other option, and you know, maybe they style it differently, drop the coat, wear the coat on its own, kind of the hipster thing. Otherwise, I think somebody who likes more modest wear will get that for them. I do tend to put, you know, when I have things like that have like the longer skirt, I tend to put modest in there because I think that there are women out there that search for that specifically. So this is another thing that I actually considered keeping for myself, but I'm not going to. It's also another flawed thing. So it is just a Sears vintage dress. It's a size 12. So it is kind of a long, I would consider it like a skater dress because of the stripe down the side. But here's the only thing that's wrong with this darn dress. There's a little bitty hole right there. So it is probably 10 inches up from the hem. I think it's low enough that if somebody really wanted to cut it off and wear it as a shorter version, they could totally do that. If they wanted to throw a patch on there, if they wanted to throw a couple stitches in there, I could probably do any of those things. I'm choosing to sell it as it is. This is another sort of similar to the Miss Elaine. It's a vintage Vanity Fair robe. It is a size, what does that say? Oh, medium. Again, for, you know, either just people that like to wear a robe around the house, you know, before bed, or for people, you know, who might be living in senior communities. But it's just really beautiful, full zip, long, and it's got some pretty, like, braiding around the sleeves. So we'll put that out there. This is an item that makes me very sad, and I've had it sitting around for a long time with the best of intentions of getting it listed, but I wish that I could fix it is the problem. So it's new with tags. It's Canard. It's a size 4. It is a matching sort of linen pants and blazer. Here's the thing that I did not notice when I bought it. So you can see right in that shoulder seam, there's a bleach mark. I don't know what to do about it. I'm just at a point where I think I have to give up and just give it a steam and sell it as it is and hope that somebody can figure out a way to fix it or just doesn't care. And I got that actually at an annual garage sale that my mom and I go to. So I think everything for that trip averaged out to $1.11. So, I mean, even if it... And take two. No idea where I got cut off there, and I'm frankly not going to go back and read in the middle of it. But what I was saying was I had purchased this at a citywide garage sale that my mom and I always go to. And the average price for each item that I picked up that day was $1.11. So even if it doesn't sell as well as I had hoped it would, I'm sure it'll still sell, and I will definitely still be able to recoup my costs. So for anybody watching, I typically source a lot at like church rummage sales, bag sales, garage sales. I do have a thrift store locally that has a tag sale on Sundays where the color of the tag from the previous week is $1.59, so that's a really good deal for me. But yeah, so that's what this was. This is an item that I can't even find comps for. So it is a nylon jacket. It says the Grassroots Summer Tour 80. So this is authentic vintage. It is totally one of a kind. It's an XXL, which I think is really nice. It has some problems. What you would expect in terms of kind of some discoloration and stuff, but it's really the lining where there's a problem. So there are, kind of fraying points. There is, particularly on this side, but I mean, I don't know what you expect from an item that's been around since 1980. So we'll see. I think what will happen is I will put it out there high. I don't think it'll be something where somebody who's like a fan of that band finds it and loves it, but who knows, maybe. You never know with the internet. But what I think is that some guy is going to really like it for just wearing around, a really cool vintage jacket. This is another item that I am somewhat sad about, and I'm debating whether or not to list it with the flaws or if I should just give up on it. So I have a dress that's very similar to this that I have listed that has a lot of interest in it, actually. And I think this one is cooler. So Lucky Barbara, size 11-12. It looks so cool with these buttons down the back. The front, it's sort of a secretary style with this peplum. It's got the blouson waist, the long skirt. There are a couple of pulls in the fabric in the skirt, but again, nothing that is too terrible. But what I did is this had some discoloration on it. So I went ahead and, tried to wash it, put some OxyClean. One of the arms, bleached out. I don't know why. And it's polyester, so in my mind, I don't even know how the heck that could happen, but it did. So I can't decide if I just list it and disclose that, and if anybody would want it and say, oh, this is still super interesting, or what. So I'm debating. These are a couple things just from my closet that I don't wear anymore. Calvin Klein, size medium. It is a short sleeve sweater with this kind of open kind of dot knit to it. And then this is a Nicole by Nicole Miller tank, or like a halter. It's got really cool pockets, and I love everything about this, but it just doesn't hit me right in the hips. Ladies, you know what I mean. This is another really unique item that I picked up. I remember picking this up at the thrift store, so it was $1.59. It is sort of this Asian-inspired jacket. And it's from Passports of Pier 1 Imports. So this is another vintage, probably 90s piece. So it's got this sort of Asian-inspired jacket. And what's really interesting is there's elastic around the waist. So it'll have a little bit of shape when it's on. But then it has these matching, wide leg, almost palazzo pants. And it's a size large. So I think that that's very cool. I need to take the steamer to it and see what happens. So we've hit the tub. So now this is all the stuff that I haven't touched since I put it in the tub. So we will see what's there. This is a pair of, I remember picking these up. So I initially bought them for me. So they are UGG flats. I got them at a garage sale for $1. They're in really nice condition. I wore them one time and they just did not fit my foot right. So the soles are gorgeous, and I think they're in 8. Yep, they are. They're an 8. So we'll get those listed. I think that this might be a bin that I threw some things in that were like problems, because I'm recognizing some of these. So this is a pair of Miss Me jeans. I remember picking them up at a bag sale. I'm assuming, yep, like there's some rhinestones that are missing. There are some studs and things that are missing from this side, but I can remember the reason I didn't list them as soon as I got them. They're actually missing the button. So, and they are a size, they have a 35-inch inseam, so that's kind of nice. They're a 25. They're the Jess boot. So, I think that I will still list them, and list them as is, and see if anybody wants to put a new button on. Again, could I sew a button on? Yes, I could. Do I think that it's worth the energy of replacing a button when I'm still going to have to disclose that it's a replaced button? I don't really think so. I'm also very excited about my Harry Potter mug. As this channel continues on, I'm sure I will share more about me, but I'm a big Harry Potter fan, and my family and I actually just went to London and did the Harry Potter like movie experience thing there, and I got a Marauders Map mug there, and I was very excited about it. And so now it's my like go-to mug. This is a Calvin Klein jeans small petite. I initially thought that this was a men's sweater. The more that I am thinking about, everything about the style tells me it's a men's. I have never once seen a men's sweater have small /P for like the petite, so like the small. I have never seen that before, and that's what is throwing me off. But it's kind of a vintage piece, so it's got the spell out patch on the sleeve. It's got these really awesome elbow patches, but the size of it, again, tells me that this is a men's and not a women's. So sometimes things like that I tend to set us. I'm sure I'm not the only one that does this in the reseller world, but sometimes what I'll do is if I have things where I'm like, I'm hemming and hawing over it and I can't quite figure out, like, is this a men's? Is this a women's? Is this a... I'll set it to the side, and then it ends up in a bin like this where I'm just like, what do I want to do with this? And this is the time that I put up all the things that need to get put up. I remember I got this at the bins. It is a Victoria's Secret pink Minnesota Vikings long sleeve. So it's got Minnesota down one side. It's got it down both sleeves. It's really cute. Kind of sheer. Size medium. So I will get that listed, and who knows? Oh, these are an item that I think some of this are things that I've had listed in the past too, and maybe they got deactivated for some reason. So this is an Under Armour size medium, loose wind pants. So the reason that I remember I took these down was, if I look at them just right, and maybe this is me just being super anal retentive, I don't know. So if I look at these just right, this side looks almost like it has a an iron mark. Like somebody was ironing these, and there's just that shape on this side. I'll let you guys be the judge. Do you see that, or is it just me? So anybody that looks at this, if you want to comment on that, please help me decide. And then it's got the zip bottoms. So I think that there are ladies out there who would like those for basketball or something. This is another thing that ended up in here because I am not sure. So Under Armour, small. It's not a women's small. I initially got this for me. I think I picked it up at the thrift store for a couple bucks for me to run in, and it did not fit me right. It's a men's. It's a men's small. I am sure of that. Just because of the fit of it. It is too long to be a women's small. So I think that it was just another one of those things where I sort of like was hemming and hawing over like, but is it a woman's? Is it not? I'm not quite sure. This is something that I had pulled out of my inventory. It is a scrub top. I pulled it out because it had zero interest. It was not going to make any money. And so I'm putting it over there because I'm going to redonate it. A couple of things that I had put in here from my stuff again. So this is a Disney Minnie Mouse t-shirt with a little mini pocket. I I've got a couple of Disney things that are listed right now, so we'll see. And this is just a kid's Nike shirt. It was my daughter's. What does it say? I always like this one. What's better than great? And on the back, me. Ooh, I love that attitude, girl. Okay, this is another bag sale item. So the brand is Carlisle. It is linen silk blend. It is a beautiful, like, coral color. I don't keep up on the color of the year thing, but I keep hearing everybody talk about, like, coral being one of the colors of the year, which makes me very happy because coral is one of the colors that I love the most. So it's this sort of beautiful corally orange. There was something on this somewhere that made it a bit of a problem child, and so I didn't list it. So when I start taking photographs, I'm sure I will see it again, but it's this, you know, long sleeve, sort of hip length, not rain jacket, but sort of like a spring fall coat. This is another item that I picked up at a garage sale when I was with my mother. It is, and it's actually a set. I happen to have the other piece right there. So it is Pendleton. It is vintage. It is very vintage. It is 70s, I believe. There's not a size on this one, but I think there is on the other piece. So these are cotton-lined wool, like, golf pants, like wide leg, bell bottom trousers. Oh, aren't these great? Look at that plaid. Oh. And I think, are they fully lined? Yes, they are fully lined, because I cannot imagine wearing wool pants all day long. Ooh. And here they've got a matching, oh, come here, vest. This is the part where either that pile or my coffee spills. I'm sure of it. Okay. Oh, I just pulled this out of the washer because it had a little stain on it. So it has a matching button front vest with the belt. So I just pulled that out. Again, something that I wish I would have gotten listed during the colder months, but it sells. Things sell all the time. What are you? I don't know what this is. I don't know where it came from. It looks like it's a bowling shirt. I don't know if this was my husband's. I don't foresee me listing that, but I will look up comps and see what happens. Let's see. Oh, this is another something that I probably bought for my husband. Yes, based on the size, that is accurate. It looks like they are Express for Men jeans. They are a 34-30, and they are the Rocco Slim Fit Low Rise Straight Leg. And it looks like, excuse me, there's a little bit, somebody clipped the, my husband also gets all of his clothes secondhand too, because I do all the shopping. So as I'm at garage sales and thrift stores and things, that's where he gets his clothes from, which is great, because if he doesn't like it, I either A, resell it, or we just redonate it, and we are out very little. So that somebody went ahead and clipped the cuff, the ankle. So I think that those will still be fine. I will list those. Ooh, my pile is getting precarious. I will look at a couple more things in here, and then I will probably call it for this week, because that's quite the pile that I have already, and I still have a couple of things left over from last week. My schedule is great. I work, like I said, I work a full-time office job, but I work remotely from my home every other week. So those weeks are great for listing because I cut like 2 hours out of my day for commuting. But weeks that I go into the office, which I had this last week, it's a little bit more of a challenge because by the time I get home, it's a little later and I'm making dinner and, you know, spending time with my family. And then by the time my daughter goes to bed, you know, it's 9 o'clock and it's time for us to start winding down too. So I tend to not get as much done on those weeks, but this upcoming week is a remote week for me. So I'm very hopeful that I can get more stuff done and get the few, I think I probably have like 5 things from the previous video that I posted that I hope to get listed. So let's do like 2 more things. And I see a couple things in here that I know what they are, and I know that I will just get them listed pretty quick. So it is a new with tags pair of Nike workout pants. These were mine. They are, the tag's a little bit beat up, you can see, but they have never been worn. They are dry fit. They are kind of a, you know, wide leg. So Those will go up. And then one more. Ooh, let's reach into the bag and see what we get. Oh, again, a thing that I wish that I would have gotten listed before. But it is a North Face, I'm assuming it's a women's, kind of tie winter hat. So those are going to be the things that I'm going to focus on for this week. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch. If you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. If you liked this, please hit the thumbs up button, subscribe. I plan to continue to do these sort of rehauls, as well as maybe start doing some sales videos and other kinds of content. So if that's something that you're interested in, I would definitely love to have you stick around. Thanks and have a great day.